cute. I'm happy with it. This little lounge right here. New York. Look at these flowers. I can order whatever I want. It's been about 3 months now since I've had my studio space, which is insane. Time is just flying. And one of the main things I've wanted to do with this space is make it some sort of community gathering something. Originally I thought that would be crochet workshops, which is somewhere on the back burner, but then I got an even better idea. When I started Loose Ends, I was, like many small business owners, going to local markets, paying the vendor fee, showing up, having a table, selling for the day, and then closing up shop. I did markets for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years of my small business journey. Since moving to Montreal, I have not done any, and I low-key kind of miss it. But then I realized I have this gorgeous space that is basically just me every single day. Why don't I just throw a market here? Hi everyone, if this is your first time watching, my name is Bennett. I'm located in Montreal, Canada. I'm 25 years old, and I run a sustainable crochet fashion brand called Loose Ends. Actually, I should correct that and say I run a sustainable crochet fashion brand and yarn brand called Loose Ends. So basically, I make and sell crochet bags, and as of last fall, I sell the crochet patterns to make your own bags as well. And now, as of now, basically, I also sell t-shirt yarn. It's my own yarn brand. It's called LOOSENDS Yarn. Guys, I am hosting my first ever market in my studio space, and I could not be more excited. Crazy, insane. I don't know what's happening, what the heck. So as I mentioned, when I got this studio, I knew I was a little bit over my head. The studio is huge. It's about 1,000 square feet. For a little crochet business, you might think that's crazy, and low-key it kind of is. I moved into this space back in mid-January or so, and since then I've been working really, really hard to get this furnished and ready for customers, ready for markets, ready for workshops. I have a lot of goals and ambitions with this space, and slowly but surely, we're getting there. So, I am hosting my very first market in my studio. It is called Saturday Marché. Essentially, I've invited a few vendors who are local to Montreal and have their own small businesses, small brands, cafes, whatever it may be, and I've invited them all to pop up in this space for a day. So the event is happening on May 31st, and we have a lot of work to do. I also thought this could be very helpful to any vendors out there, whether you're a small business who is going to a market for the first time, or maybe you own a space and you're starting to rent it out for markets, or maybe you just stumbled upon this video and you're seeing me for the very first time and this is just something you find interesting. Whatever it may be, I want to take you guys along the journey of running this market. So let's get into it. Honestly, this market is like a big step for me and kind of the first big thing I'm doing here in Montreal. I've been here for like 10 months now, so it is a little bit of time, but I think as someone who's kind of an extroverted introvert, I do kind of move slowly when it comes to new scenarios, meeting new people, reaching out. So it took me a while to build up some confidence. Also, it has taken me a while to get this studio furnished. I really wanted to curate this space and make it feel like a second home in a sense. I definitely have some nerves going into this. The most obvious one, probably what we're all thinking is, what if it's a bust? What if nobody shows up? But I think once I started reaching out to all the vendors, it made me a lot more confident and excited about this. So there's gonna be 8 vendors in total, which includes Loose Ends, obviously. And I am super excited about the curation. I have some jewelry, some ceramics, I have a tattoo artist, I have a pop-up cafe. I think with markets, it can get into this weird space of like, you come and you feel kind of awkward shopping because the vendors are just like, standing there behind their table. And I totally get that. I've been on both sides of the table, literally. So when I decided to do my first market, I really wanted to curate the vendors and make it feel almost like a cozy, cool, chill vibe where people could come and spend a few hours and not just have it be like a thing where you come in and spend money, you know? Of course, that's the goal. All the vendors want to make some money, but I also want people to remember the space, remember each vendor, maybe they come back later, you know? Now that it's me being the one who is managing the event and running it, I have a totally different perspective. It really does matter a lot of which vendors you're choosing. As I'm recording this, it's May 12th and I have all of my vendors confirmed, which is just like such a stress relief. So we're gonna have Saturday Cafe, who makes the best coffee and treats. There's a Care Label, they make sustainable and well-crafted basics. We have Spicy Baby Tattoo, Dova Price, Pas Mon Style. Studio J is gonna be here. We actually met on TikTok and she's one of my very first Montreal friends. There's also gonna be Second Base Vintage. And finally, we're gonna have Loose Ends, which will now include LOOSENDS Yarn. This is actually gonna be the very first time that my yarn will be available for purchase. Okay, so we have T-minus 18 days until this market happens. We have a lot of work to do and I think we should do it. Let's go. Okay, so I just finished painting this. I would show you a bit closer, but honestly, it's not that clean. All I did for this was print out my logo, tape it to the back, and then I traced the logo with a pencil and then just painted it in. I think it looks really cute. I'm happy with it. The reason I made this is because I wanted to put it by the front door for the market. I also got some Sharpies, so when people come in, they can just sign their name or write like a really small message, and I think it'll be the perfect little welcome thing and souvenir to put up in my studio after the market. New poster. So I'm currently making a floor plan for the market. This is something I am very new to. I'm just doing it on Canva because I'm most familiar with it. And I'm trying to see where each vendor should go, what would make the most sense. So as of now, we have like this little lounge area, which is where I'm sitting right now. And then I have a little table and my big workshop table in the middle here. Having been a vendor myself at many markets in the past, I know what it's like to get stuck with a not so good spot. The thing about this space is it's not too big, but at the end of the day, I just want to make sure everyone is happy. You know, they've paid money to vend here, and I just want to make sure that they have a really good experience. Deciding where to put each vendor and making sure it makes sense with the curation and the flow of the space. There's just a lot of factors that go into it that I never thought about. I just finished the floor plan and I sent off the email to all the vendors with just some like building details, load in, load out, like logistics, boring stuff. I've been crocheting a lot today. Well, not too much. I really need to get a lot done. But I got the bodies done for a dust shoulder bag in oat and then 2 dust handbags. And then I'm moving on to red now. It'll also be a dust bag. Hello. My goal for the market is to have at least one of each style. I basically have one of each bow bag done. 3 dusk shoulder bags, 4 dusk handbags, and 4 laptop sleeves. No triangle totes, no chocolate, no black, no oat, really. Lots of work to do. I also ordered more carabiners because I want to make a lot of charms for the market. I feel like for in-person things, it's less likely that people are gonna buy a $200 bag out of nowhere, and more likely that they'll buy smaller stuff. So I'm gonna have my stickers for sale, and then I wanna crochet a lot of charms for people to get because those are only $25 and it's just something cute and fun that you can style on your bag or whatever. And then of course, most exciting of all, I'll have Loose Ends Yarn for sale for the very first time. Obviously the market is not really geared towards crocheters, and I don't think I have a huge community of followers here in Montreal, but I think a few people will show up. So I'm curious to see what they think of Loose Ends Yarn. Okay, so it's a couple days later. It's actually Saturday right now, and I'm at the studio. Things are really busy right now, so I'm kind of just here all the time. That's okay. That is okay. I have printed out the official posters for the Loose Ends Saturday Marché. They look so good. My graphic designer Sid did an amazing job. I will leave their Instagram linked below. If you guys ever need graphic design help, Sid is the person to go to. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. We are officially 2 weeks out from market day, and I need to start putting posters up around the building, around my neighborhood. I figured since it's a Saturday and it's a long weekend right now, it's gonna be a little bit more quiet here in the building. So I figured I would put these up today. So let's go. Funny story actually, this unit right here, I almost moved into when I was looking at units in this building. Crazy how life happens. Okay, so one thing that I really want to make for the market is charms. I have crochet charms on my website right now, but I don't really keep them in stock because they're really quick to make. But recently I've been making another kind of charm. Here, I actually have one, I'll show you guys. So technically, it's not crochet. It might be macrame, don't quote me on that. But it's this kind of like thing that we kind of all used to make in middle school or elementary school with our friends. And I just love the look of it. It hangs on your bag so nicely. So my plan is to make a bunch of these in different colors, different patterns, different color combinations. So it's time to lock in. Let's make a ton of keychains right now. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. I'm using a microphone for this clip and I put it on my hat. This feels really weird because I can see it in my peripheral, but hopefully it sounds good. Amidst the chaos of all this market planning, I still have my website up. I still am selling bags, getting wholesale orders. So that's what we're doing right now. I need to pack 5 orders, I believe. So I wanted to do that with you guys and show you what everyone got. These are my current whips. If you don't know what that is in crochet, or I guess fiber arts in general, whip just stands for work in progress. So these are about, I guess, halfway done. We have the panels for a triangle tote in oat, in black, and then the base of a dusk shoulder bag. So let me get some shipping boxes and I'll be right back. Okay, I need 1, 2, 3, 2 small. And I also just remembered that I get to use my new cards for these orders, which makes it really exciting. Okay, I still get very shocked whenever I get a bag order. I mean, pattern orders gratefully come in very frequently, and it's really nice that it's kind of something I can somewhat depend on at this point. But bag orders, they're not as common. And it still feels like when each one comes, it's such a shock. Recently, maybe like within the past 1 to 2 months, it's kind of worked out where I've gotten anywhere from like 3 to 7 orders per week. And that's still crazy to me. It's been a lot of work to get here. And it surprised me sometimes because for my brand, I think of it as like a two-way stream right now, where it's like one stream is the crocheters who are getting my patterns and learning how to make my bags and supporting my small business that way. And then there's the other stream where it's like getting into stores and like people are buying the physical bags that I'm making, and they may not be crocheters themselves, but they're interested in the actual look and aesthetic of the bag for like fashion purposes. And for me, what I've noticed is my content really does well more consistently when I'm appealing to the crocheters, because people are always looking for inspiration and like a new thing to crochet, and it just makes sense that like those types of videos do well consistently, because like if I put myself in their shoes, if I'm a crocheter and I'm looking for inspiration and I find it, I come across one of my bags and I'm like, perfect, I want to make that, find me the pattern. And then I go to my website and it's like $10, $12, whatever, right? Like it's such a small investment, but you actually get a lot of payout from it because you can make as many bags as you want. You get a new bag and a fun activity at the same time. So it just makes sense that like that attracts people a lot easier than this very saturated market of selling finished products to people, you know? It's so competitive when we're thinking of like how many clothing brands, how many bag brands even there are. I don't know, I'm rambling, but basically what I'm trying to say is I'm surprised when I get physical bag orders sometimes, because a lot of my content tends to be geared more towards the crocheters. So it's like, look at this pattern I made, and look what you can do, you know? It's not necessarily like, hey, I'm this cool person who wears cool outfits and this bag, you need to get it, you know what I mean? So it's been a nice treat, I will say, that I still get to make lots of bags for people and people are buying them and ordering. You may have noticed as well that I'm also really trying to grow my wholesale clients. I think at the moment I've grown to 8 or 9 stores across North America. Majority of them are in Vancouver. I have one in Montreal right now. I'm working on a second Montreal store. I have one in San Francisco, and then I just sent off an order to one in New York, which is crazy. I actually wrote down in my 2025 goals a list of potential cities that I wanted my bags to be in. Oh yeah, and I also have a store in Calgary. So I think that's definitely helped too. Like on one hand, you have that constant foot traffic in all these different places that even if people don't buy from you directly at the store, they're hearing about your brand. Maybe they're picking up a business card, something like that. So it's good marketing. And then of course, financially as well, getting wholesale orders means you're getting the money up front, not as much as you would be getting if you made all the sales yourself. But in a way, it's kind of a win-win because you're getting the money up front, like I said, and then also the store, once they sell the bags, they're selling them at full price. So they're making their money back. Okay, these are the big boxes. Those are done. I just posted a reel today of recent design upgrades that I've made in my studio, getting my new couch from Facebook Marketplace, or putting up curtains at my window, or getting more plants. I just wanted to share kind of some behind the scenes of how the studio is coming along. And I don't know, that video was really simple, but it was really nice to reflect on, and I was really excited to post it. So I'll add it in right here if you guys want to check it out. Recent design upgrades I've made in my new studio. A few months ago, I moved into my very first office space, and now I'm finally ready to host my first event. So I've been getting the space together and ready for people to come visit. My friend helped me put up these floating shelves, and I've been displaying my bags on them. I finally got around to labeling all of my yarn, and I love how satisfying it looks. The architecture in my unit is pretty harsh, so I put up these curtains to add some softness. I finally found a couch on Facebook Marketplace, and I think the shape is just perfect for the space. I also painted my logo on a canvas for guests to sign when they come visit, and I put up my logo on the front door to make it all feel real. I'm starting to add more plants to really tie everything together. What should I do next? Okay, now I'm just gonna write on each tag. Okay, this one is for the dusk handbag, so it says dusk, and then I took 2 hours to make, and I made from 100% reclaimed t-shirt fabric. I started doing this last year when I was doing markets, and I realized a lot of people weren't necessarily appreciating how long it took to make. It's just a super quick way for people to turn over the card and see what the material is straight away. Rochelle got the dusk handbag in black, and this is going to Caledon, Ontario. Ashley got a laptop sleeve in jade, and it's going to British Columbia. Julia got a dusk shoulder bag in red, and it's going to New York. Ooh, I want to visit New York so bad. And we have another dusk shoulder bag in red going to Sharazad in Maryland. Never been. Finally, we have another Julia, also in New York, but this is the dusk midnight shoulder bag. Okay, I'm going to speed through this. Let's pack up these orders. It's been a minute since I've done a real life in-person pop-up, like almost a year. My last one was at my friend's studio in Vancouver at the end of July, right before I moved here actually. So with that being said, I was in need of some new display things for the market, just like price signage or like a sidewalk sign, things like that. And George and Willie was so gracious to send over some things for me to use for my market, and I am so excited to have them. So I thought we could unbox them together. They kindly gifted me the sidewalk sign, and then I also got little price tags for display. Everything they make is just so sleek and aesthetic, and it goes perfectly with my studio, honestly. So I'm so excited to unbox these. It is a new day. It is currently Saturday. We are back at the studio on a weekend. I wanted to update you guys on some progress that we've made, both with bags and with yarn. All week long I've been crocheting and labeling balls of yarn, all in preparation for my first ever market, which is 1 week away as of today. But first of all, look at these flowers. They're so cute. I love this vase. I just thrifted it from Renaissance, which is a local thrift store here in Montreal. But anyway, let me show you how we're doing on bags right now. This is what the space is looking like. I actually moved this bookcase. It's just an IKEA bookcase. It used to be over here, but I have since moved it here because for the market, each brand is kind of getting their own space. And I didn't want my customers to be kind of going back and forth and into other brand spaces. I just want to keep it concise and together. So that's gonna stay there for the market, and we'll move it back after. This display is also nowhere near final. It honestly does not look good right now in my opinion, but I was just kind of keeping everything in one spot, and I'll organize it next week when we get closer to the market. On this table here, I just put a few of my sticker sheets. These are available on my website. I designed them myself. And I have some of the black t-shirt yarn. I have a desk handbag. I made a triangle tote in oat, and then I also made one in black, which are great to have. I'll probably just do one of each of these. Down here we have the bow bags. I actually haven't made any more. Well, kind of. I'm in the process of finishing a red one right now. Over here, I've been making some keychains. I'm not sure if I showed you guys these already. I think I did, but I made a couple more. I really love this cheetah print one. Like, I made a few of these because I just know people are gonna like these. Also, the stripes are cool. I love the neutrals as well. I need to make a lot more of these because I feel like they're just gonna be so nice for people to grab and go, and they're priced a little bit lower. Up here for now, I have the dust shoulder bag, my cute little sign. You guys saw me set these up. This is from George and Willie. I will link this in the description if you guys are curious. It's a really cool company and I love their quality. Over here we have the dusk handbag. I've made, I think, about one of each color that I offer. This is actually olive, which I don't currently have on my website, but basically I used to make the olive color maybe about a year ago, and it's since sold out and I couldn't ordered again from my supplier at the time. But now that I have my own yarn business, I can order whatever I want. So when I got my shipment, I received a few of this olive color and I was like, perfect. I love this color so much. I think it's just the perfect neutral, but still a statement. Put that back there. One final thing I should show you is this little guy here. And they're just on this cute little vintage IKEA rack that I thrifted. Okay, real talk for a sec. Let's talk about the progress we've made and also how I am doing, because that is so important in all of this, to check in with yourself and just evaluate where you're at amidst all of the chaos and the stress and the just go, go, go that I'm constantly doing. I am okay. It's really a weird feeling running a small business. I mean, you've probably heard this from me a million times, if not from other small business owners. It's so easy to just let everything else take a back seat. And honestly, it doesn't even feel like you're doing it sometimes, because the passion and the drive and the excitement that you might have for making something yourself and owning this thing, taking ownership of something, putting an event on, having a business, having a social media presence, whatever it may be, it really can drive you so far. I've just been thinking about this over the last maybe month or so with all that I have going on. You know, we're launching LOOSENDS Yarn, which feels like a whole new business. I've almost doubled my social media presence because now I have to make content for a yarn brand, my personal brand. I'm now doing YouTube more. And on top of all that, I chose to run a market. Now, I'm not saying it's too much by any means. Honestly, I'm handling it well, and I'm proud of myself for that. I think it's just having all of these things on my plate on top of life itself. When I think about all those things all at once, it does feel like a lot. I don't really know what I'm trying to say with this clip. I just feel like it's good for me to sit down and talk to you guys about this and just acknowledge the fact that I am doing a lot and this is temporary. A week from now, when this market happens, I will have so much weight lifted off my shoulders. Again, not because I don't want to be doing it, but just because it's work and it's stressful. Once LOOSENDS Yarn launches and I pack orders and send them off, that'll be another weight off my shoulders. I guess I've just been acknowledging a lot more like the ebbs and flows of running this business. And it's not the same for everyone, but that's how it's been for me. Feels like almost all of the work that I do is self-imposed. And sometimes that motivation and that drive and that excitement just makes me want to keep piling more on top of each other so that I have this momentum with my business. I still feel small enough as a business owner or as a brand that if I were to just cut down my workload by half, I feel like, I don't know, I have this kind of fear that people would just stop caring. I guess I'm just trying to say, like, let this be a lesson that the ebbs and flows will come and they're inevitable. And if anything, for myself, I need a lesson and a reminder that I don't always have to be at 100 to be successful. Okay. So, like I said, we are 1 week out from the LOOSENDS Saturday Marché. I am so beyond excited. As much as this prep has been a lot and maybe overwhelming, it has been so rewarding and just getting me so pumped to have other small business owners in the space and welcome the community into my space and let them know that LOOSENDS is here. So I'm gonna end this video here because in the next video is gonna be the actual market. We have some final touches to bring together, you know. I have to get garbage bags, I have to figure out compost, I have to make sure all my vendors are set up, continue making social content, making sure people are gonna show up. But of course I can't wait to take you guys along. That video is gonna be so fun. So stay tuned for that, it'll come out very soon. Reminder that my yarn business, LOOSENDS Yarn, launches June 4th at 11 a.m. EST on LOOSENDSCROCHET.com. I will link it in the description. But again, if you want early access on June 3rd, make sure you are part of the Thread Collective. I will also link that in the description. We just hit 1,000 members, which is crazy. I need to order more yarn very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, liking this video. It really helps me out. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video for the market vlog. Bye everyone.